as I continually evaluate our roster and our goal to become better, I've decided to start Nate Peterman as our quarterback this week. I remain confident in Tyrod Taylor and his ability to help our football team moving forward. So with that, I'll open it up.
Okay, can you kind of walk us through that decision, what you saw when you kind of made that?
Stop that. There you have it. You heard it. You heard it today, as we all did. We saw the tweets, or we got the notifications, or somebody texted us if we weren't able to watch or listen ourselves at that particular time. And yeah, the Bills officially made the switch at quarterback. It's a big deal. It's a time at 5-4. I tweeted out a bunch of stuff about this isn't unprecedented. I've seen this in the past. I mean, granted, it was a while back, but and granted, these quarterbacks in particular that were being moved on to were top 3, top 5 quarterbacks. Like Donovan McNabb, Doug Peterson was benched. The team was not 2-7 in '99, and in '04 it was Kurt Warner benched for a 5-4 Giants team by Tom Coughlin for Eli Manning. So 9 games seems to be, and Sean McDermott was under Andy Reid as his first year in the league at that particular time, and was with the Eagles and I mean, so there's a precedent for this particular time frame, and as we all saw, being the social media age, that everybody's narrative, whether it's pro-Tyrod, anti-Tyrod, or neutral, was flying. The fur was flying today, and people went as far as to start throwing out potential, and this is as far as I'll go with it, racial overtones and undertones. I was just like, you know what, I'm not even gonna swim in that shit. I'm not going there. It's one thing I don't mix. If you guys follow me on any social media platforms, no politics, no religion, and no personal life. If you eliminate those from your social media experience, whatever platform it is, you will have a much better time. And that's all I'll say about that. But yeah, the Bills officially, this pretty much spells the end of the Tyrod Taylor era as Buffalo Bills starting quarterback. You make this move is pretty much it. You don't go back. You really don't, barring an injury, and that can happen, obviously. You don't go back. He handled it as well as I think anybody could have in that situation. He's always been a professional. He's always, been the good soldier. I can't knock him for that. But I could knock him for his play. And as a guy who has the ball in his hands every play on offense, he should be. He should be under scrutiny a lot, rightly or wrongly. If he plays well, I'll say he plays well. If he played bad, I'd say he played bad. And I'll always harken back, if you guys follow me, social media, I was very consistent. When he played like crap, I called him out. When he played well, I said he played well. But yeah, everybody has their narratives. That was, like I've stated, anti-Tyrod, pro-Tyrod, and I just kind of was like, I'm the lay person here, okay? And I could see with the not only have watched the games on television, but then to go, because I have the NFL game day on NFL.com, and you do the rewatch, and I'm no expert or anything, but you could see open receivers, you can see guys, and the amount of time that he had to make a decision while these guys were open or coming open, it was just like, what is he waiting for? And it was so consistent. And I think Andy Benoit said it best on the Ryan Russillo thing, and just people, just so many different, more specifically the national media who doesn't watch Tyrod on a weekly basis, down in and down out like us Bills fans do, and who would be at least non-biased and acknowledge his shortcomings, would confess about his game. It's got to be some. There's always got to be some sort of conspiracy theory. There's always got to be something. Well, it's always like, oh, they want the prototype. That Shope was going banging on about that drum, and I'm just like, oh, Jesus Christ. It just can't get away from it no matter where you go, and it's ruining sports. But here we go.
Sports Illustrated, who we think is terrific. He's the guy that wrote the article on Wentz this summer, going, I'll take Wentz over any of the other young guys for the next 10 years. And we're like, really? And then you go, okay.
I wanted Wentz. Everybody knows it. You watched me, you know it, 2 years ago.
He was on with us a month ago. We asked him about Tyrod, and he actually predicted this.
There will never be a stat to capture our throws that should be attempted that are not attempted. And when you put on the all-22 coaches film and you see how these plays are drawn up, every game, more than any other QB in the league, Tyrod Taylor's leaving guys open on the field unattempted. He's not processing. He's not seeing. He's not a full field progression reader, and he's also not an anticipation thrower. That's a bad mix. You have to really simplify the offense and build around him. Now, they put Taylor on the move a lot, which slices the field in half. Now he's only reading half the field. That's a very specific way to play, though. And the more specific you are, the easier you become the game plan against. So my guess is they're going to keep their eyes very much open for a quarterback, not this season, but heading into the offseason and moving forward.
Okay, so that...
All right, and I had to play that for you. If you haven't already heard it yourself, and there was a lot of different takes, and I play that because I just said that I watch that stuff and I see he's not throwing this football, and you look at just the stats, and people can extrapolate. They can talk about stats any different kind of way. I mean, stats will tell you that Trent Edwards was 60% completion and this and that, but the guy was woefully inaccurate and didn't take shots and was uber conservative to the point of nausea. And this game that just passed for Tyrod Taylor, for me, ended up being his moment of, he went full-blown Trent Edwards. He just wanted no part of the fight. And this team, from a coaching staff standpoint, and particularly a head coach, and I'm sure the GM and the owner who's watched this for 2 years plus sees this. I mean, he's up in the box. He can see it. You go out and you trade future assets for a monster wide receiver. You're down 2 scores in a game, and it's over. It's over. You have no shot. And the quarterback is just going, just meekly going off into the dark with these dink and dunk passes, just conceding. How frustrating is that? It's damn well frustrating to watch. It sure is. And you can't get 2 organizations, front offices, particularly the Whaley Bills front office and the Brandon Bean, Sean McDermott led Buffalo Bills, who couldn't be more polar opposite. But they both ascertained that Tyrod Taylor was not good enough to go forward with. It's that they're willing to do this at this particular juncture at 5-4 in a playoff spot is a hell of an indictment. How many more opposing defensive starters have to go around? And this is the players. Fuck the narratives. Fuck me. Fuck my opinion. This is players. This is opposing players. This is professional football players who sit down and know how to dissect and extract information from game film, because this is what they do for a living. This is professional football players on different teams, Ravens, Jets, and I believe it was the week before also. No, this just past game, the Saints, Cameron Jordan. We wanted to make him be a quarterback. We wanted to make him be a quarterback. Seriously, like, they're telling you, like, look, the position a guy plays, outside of him being able to improv and extend some plays with his legs, that once that's contained and once he's made to have to use his quarterback acumen, that it's severely debilitating the offense. Severely debilitating. And I'm not telling you guys anything you don't know. We never see any Bills wide receivers get to moss anybody in this offense, go up and make contested catches, go up and get those back shoulder throws or those catches where, guys seem like they're the 9 route and then they stop and turn around, the ball's there because they just kind of carried the DB down, quarterback threw it, his outside shoulder, steps out of bounds for that quick little defense. In the Bills, no pitch and catch. We see pitch and catch all over the league. We see 4 to 6 first downs just in every given game. Just pitch and catch plays and just those timing, that's rhythm, things that we weren't seeing. And it was a little bittersweet because it's like, you wanted Tyrod to succeed. He had all the little, just a feel-good story, a guy who was up against it, 6th round pick, and it just didn't work out, unfortunately, for him. It didn't, and it is time to move on. And the Bills made that decision today. Sean McDermott, as you heard, said it himself. It's a bold move. It's a big move, and he said a couple of things. He said that, in order to be great, you have to take calculated risks, acknowledging that it is a risk. Also, that, that the Buffalo Bills are about more than 5-4. And it's about building a team that we've all dreamed about. Really. Music to my ears. And a lot of guys that you've commented and stuff, and I all greatly appreciate, you getting pity with it. I know he's the big Tyrod supporter and stuff, and again, I don't mean no ill will either. I just know what I see, and just judging by your pictures and stuff, you're a pretty young guy with 26, 27 most, and several others. I don't know how old Ricky from Ohio is. I don't know how old a few of the other pretty young guys. Another guy commented on the video saying he never saw a winning Bills team or a playoff Bills team, and I think about that and I'm like, wow. I watched a Hall of Fame quarterback that played for the Bills his entire career retire. A guy who, you felt every Sunday that you were going to win with. A guy that would lead the league in passing. A guy that could go out and match arms with the best quarterbacks in the league. A guy that took the team to Super Bowls. Obviously didn't win any, but could win playoff games. It was just how far the bar has fallen. And for a lot of you guys, Tyrod's the best quarterback you've seen in a Bills uniform. It's crazy because past ownership under Ralph was very running back centric. Ralph had a big thing for running backs. That's why, if you kind of scroll back to the history of the Bills drafts, he just loved taking running backs, and he felt like a running back could win more for you than a quarterback could. That he loved Thurman. He loved Thurman Thomas. He thought of Thurman Thomas as a son. Really, and he was very devastated when all that stuff with OJ happened and everything. Because Ralph was very, very big on running backs. And this organization for so long has neglected the quarterback position and not taken it seriously enough. In this day and age, we all know that can't be and that couldn't continue anymore. Not to say that, Tyrod is just kind of a, again, I feel like what I said in my last video about him, or what I've continues to say about him, is he is what he is. He's so feast or famine. He's so feast or famine, and nothing is ever consistent. You don't know what you're going to get week to week from him. You really don't. There's no consistency. There really isn't, and that's a position you cannot have inconsistency from. You just can't. You can't survive with it. You can't have a guy be your consistent 16-game starter, multi-year starter, and have all these peaks and valleys in his performance. You know, you just can't. 4 first downs throughout 3 quarters, 56 passing yards, and you know, people are very quick to punch out those. Oh, did he give up 300 yards rushing? No, he didn't. But you know what he could have done is kept the offense on the field long so they couldn't get 300 rushing yards. That's what he could have done, and that didn't happen. It just, and I don't want to kick dirt on him. You know, he lost a starting job. I'm sure he's, you know, it's a rough time for him, but you know, he's a very well-paid athlete, professional athlete, and a lot of teams had chances to get Tyrod Taylor this offseason, and they didn't. They could have picked him up. He was shopped very heavily at the combine, and before he took the renegotiation with the Bills, much less money, and a lot of teams weren't willing to do that. They weren't willing to, one, take the contract. They could have renegotiated. They didn't want to part with assets. The only team that was serious that got slightly close, not even, and it was never really close, was the Browns. But that didn't come to pass. So it's come, it's gone, and I'll definitely agree with something Andy Benoit said, that this team is going to be, I think, irregardless of what happens, they'll be in the quarterback market this offseason, particularly in the draft and in free agency. But we'll see what Nate Peterman does. I mean, 7 games is a nice little body of work for him to go out there, and let's see what he has. You know, he's a rookie, so that's gonna come some mistakes. There's gonna come some inconsistency, but again, that's a rookie, not a 6-year veteran. So you gotta make sure you temper your expectations. But we'll definitely have our eyes peeled this Sunday, Bills fans. Let me know what your thoughts and opinions are. Bills officially make the quarterback change, benching Tyrod Taylor for Nathan Peterman. I'm sorry if I always harken back to my Twitter. I put it out there hours after the game. I got a DM. 2 games. That was the DM. 2 games. So 2 games that's how much Tyrod had to prove or not prove he was a starter. Then all of a sudden, like late Monday night, like probably Tuesday AM, it was sent, the eyes emoji and the little emoji mouth with the zipper. I was a little confused, but it was from the same person. So I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, no. And then today, it came to pass. I didn't know that it was going to happen or anything, but I kind of figured that they would have given the 2 games. And they must have just seen that it was just a situation that did not merit going forward with. So, again, we'll see how they proceed forward. Well, they're definitely going to proceed forward with Nathan Peterman as the quarterback, and we'll be talking about a lot about quarterbacks again this offseason. So, all right, Bills fans, have a good one. Take care, and let's hope that a lot of good can come from this long term. Long term, I want long term good come from this, not short term. I want long term. I want to be able for all of us to sit here and enjoy watching Buffalo Bills football on Sundays for a decade and a half plus, more than that, and just relax and have some stability, some sustained success, some entertainment. Even if they'll be losing within that, obviously, but entertainment within that, excitement. You know, like I said, those passing yards, receiving yards, run after catch, that's fun. That's fun stuff to watch, and I want to see it. Take care, Bills fans. Thanks for listening. I've come to you a lot this week. Kind of crazy week. It's not a week that we all this stuff happens in such a short period of time, such a dud game, and just kind of rewatching it and being like, oh. And after the game, I don't know how they don't make a change. I mean, I'm saying this in my head. I'm like, how do they just continue to watch this? And there they go. So, Sunday, Bills fans, win, lose, or draw. I don't know what to expect. I'll just watch and just let it unfold and hope for the best, like I do every Sunday. Have a good one, guys. Great rest of the week to you. Take care.